Greetings, First Presbyterian Church family. This is for Thursday, July 13th, but I'm recording this on Tuesday, July 11th, and I'm back at Blackwood Park over north of 80. I'm going to kind of over there, zoom in a little bit, and you can see the cars moving along on 80. But I'm back here, and back to my series on kind of people you ought to know. I'm changing the format a little bit, and then I'm going to, borrowing the idea from somebody, I'm going to focus on three things that I know about the person. I'm going to give a short description of the individual, and then kind of share three fun facts and kind of three observations. So keep it a little simple that way, because this is the person, we're going to look at Fanny Crosby. She's the person I'm focusing on this go round. And I've got to look down and find my notes here. We had a little breeze today, which is interesting. Of course, it's overcast, which keeps things a lot warmer. But I think the last time I was here, I really appreciated the shade. I'm in the pavilion, so obviously appreciated the shade. And you can hear the folks from the grounds department working on the grounds here. But anyway, was in the shade and really appreciated that. With the breeze, it was not that bad, but today it is overcast, so generally it's pretty pleasant. Fanny Crosby was born in 1820 and died in 1915, about 6 weeks short of her 95th birthday. So she was 94 when she passed, and so lived a very long life. And some of you may have known this. She was a great, of course, hymn writer, and we'll go to that in a moment. That when she was about 6 months, was ill, and they put some mustard poultices on her eyes, that area, and believe that that's what caused her to be blind from 6 months. Some medical doctor types today believe that she was probably just born blind, and it just became, as they got older, it became obvious, and they just thought, oh, that was what had happened. So anyway, blind all her life. Now here are your three interesting facts. She wrote 8,000 hymns. Three I'm going to mention: Blessed Assurance, Jesus is Mine, Jesus is Tenderly Calling You Home, and To God Be the Glory. And I know that at least two of those are in our current hymnal. But she wrote 8,000 hymns, and she used over 200 pseudonyms. So the idea was, you don't want that many hymns by one person in your hymnal, so you just use different names, and you might have several by her. But also, she wrote secular poems, about 1,000 secular poems, and they were in 4 books. She wrote some political and patriotic songs, sometimes by herself or in cooperation with somebody else, and 5 cantatas. Some did had covered patriotic themes, and some were more, again, faith-based themes. So she was a great writer. That's number one. Number two, she was the first woman to speak to the U.S. Senate. What now we would basically say doing a testifying in a Senate hearing. This was on education for the blind, to sponsor and promote education for blind folks. And so she's, again, the first woman ever to do that. Also, third thing is that besides, of course, the great religious music that she wrote, and poetry and whatnot, those lines, she was a backer of many causes. She became at one point in her life connected with a gospel mission ministry, reaching to the down and out. There were education endeavors to supporting abolition. She was always involved in a cause. Some were faith-based, some were more gospel in terms of coming to Christ based. Some were bringing gospel life to people. That's why I would say the reaching out to the down and the out, and the education pieces, but constantly involved in a cause of sorts. And in fact, she made very good money from her the money she made on the songs, but kept giving it away. So those are some 3 facts. Now, observations. One is we have limitations. She obviously had a limitation, being born blind or blinded very early in life, but was able to work through that and was finding opportunities. She was always looking for opportunities to serve. So a good reminder for us. We might have limitations, but always looking for opportunities. Also, she was an interesting character. That's the best way I can summarize it. And some of her dealings with people, kind of quirky, but that's just who she was. And the reminder that the Lord can use somebody with limitations, like I said, of the eyesight, and quirky personality. The Lord can use those individuals. So just remember that. Whatever opportunities and challenges you have in front of you, and however quirky or not that you find yourself, the Lord can use you. The cutter is getting over here, so I'm going to wrap it up. Y'all have a great week. Bye.